So many orthodontic and dental practices are living in chaos simply because they do not have standard operating protocols and systems set up for their practice. And that can be a really overwhelming thing to think about even getting started. So today I want to walk you through how to really create SOPs in 30 seconds with really minimal effort using AI. So what we're going to do is, the first thing I would recommend is building a custom GPT or a Claude project or whatever large language model, right? If you're using Gemini, maybe it's a Gemini Gem. But what we want to do is create a project where we can tell it how to set up the format for our SOPs so that when we provide it with the information, it's just going to create SOPs in a standard format. If you don't know what a custom GPT is or how to build it, if you don't know what a Claude project is or how to build it, if you don't know what a Gemini Gem is or how to build it, do not worry. That is what I'm going to show you today. Okay, so I am a heavy Claude user. I use Claude for a lot of things, though I do know that Gemini is really coming up to meet the level of all of these large language models that have kind of been in the running. So inside of Claude, like I said, the first thing we're going to do is set up a project. So when you're in Claude, you're going to come over here to Projects that lives in the left-hand side of your screen, and we're going to set up a new project. So in here, we might call it our SOP architect. And then in here, we're just going to say, what are we trying to achieve? And this really doesn't matter so much what you put in here. We're just going to say build SOPs. Once we have that set, then we're going to add our custom instructions, right? So this button right here is where we're going to create the guidelines for this project. What I mean by guidelines is we are going to tell this project exactly what we want it to do, right? We're going to give it the role. We're going to tell it exactly how we want our output formatted. So we're going to give it the format of what we want our SOPs to look like, and we're going to build in here the prompts that we're going to use to really activate this project, okay? So you can see here my custom instructions that I've built out for how I want this project to operate. And then I'm also going to put in the knowledge base, right down here, the prompt that I'm going to use for building an SOP. So when you click on files, right, we've got this master prompt in here for SOPs. Now all I have to do is use my favorite audio recording device or video recording device to walk through any protocol. So for example, if you just record yourself talking through how to take a new patient phone call, that's all you have to do is just walk yourself through that, or walk a team member through it, or have a team member do this, right? Just get the recording of it. Once we have the recording, we're going to take that recording transcript, come right into our AI builder and say, please use this transcript to identify and any SOP and create the SOP for it. Let me back up here. We're going to say for any protocol. All right, and so because we're saying please use this transcript to identify any protocol and create the SOP for it, you can record yourself talking through 5, 10, 20 different systems at once and have it all within that one transcript. And you can take that full transcript, and this AI architect, this SOP builder, is going to know how to identify the different protocols, group them together, and create the SOPs for them. So here's an example where I took a transcript that had multiple protocols dictated in it, and I asked this project to identify all protocols discussed and create the SOPs. So what it did is it's created the 4 SOPs for the protocols that I reviewed in a consulting session, which has been a game changer for me as a consultant, right? To be able to hand over these high-level SOPs to clients immediately after phone calls. It just really up-levels their experience, which is always the goal. So in here we can see all of the different protocols that this created, and the format that it's created in is going to be consistent because I'm using a project where I've defined what I want the outputs to look like. So now that we've created all of the SOPs, the question is, what do we do with them? Go ahead and click on this next video and I'll walk you through how to create an incredible digital up-to-date learning experience for your team.